All right, hello back. Hello again. Hello, hello. Welcome back, and let's make a few changes right at the beginning. I actually looked up, and silly me, but there are no oil industries that will be opening in the future. And so, given that we already have way too many industries, I'm just casually going to turn off not the script because there isn't any. I want this. This. We don't want more openings because it's really not helping. Landscaping object is not relevant, but yeah, I don't care. So we just changed that, and yes. Okay, so no more openings. So let's go on with this. I actually spent the last quite some time starting a new playlist on top of this, which you'll see eventually. And that one is a ships only kind of islands map. It's a smaller map because I think, well, this is just lengthy, and I'm not sure who's going to lose patience first. I mean, I'll very much aim to finish this, but you guys might not be around to watch it. Yeah, I just want to go around between these two. I want to put I actually kind of care. Well, I'm losing track of things. We're in 77 days of hovercraft. It's just as for my info. Yeah, let's put a boat here. So hotel is covered. There are going to be some difficult things in the game. So okay, one of the things in the other game that I started doing a lot more is just, if making landscape is cheap or doing landscaping is cheap, then do landscaping. It's a little weird. Like, money is obviously not a huge object. Why not? I mean, the means of this particular game is that we connect all the towns and all the industries, and it's really a case of doing this sensibly kind of justifies the means. It's bonioid, isn't it? Now, the reason why my scrolling might appear a little unusual is because I'm using a trackball. I mentioned this earlier, but in case anyone has nothing else to do but wonder about why I'm scrolling oddly. If you don't know what trackball is, look it up. Yeah, just basically have a bunch of ships going around in literal circles here. So what we'll do, I've kind of made up my mind about the logic here, which is I do have farm supply. I don't seem to have, I don't know why I did not call this my Alden. I want this at the beginning. Okay, so all of my people ships are losing money, unsurprisingly. I just want the label. So we'll spend an ungodly amount of time building out the people stuff, which in hindsight is going to be sensible because A, I said so, and B, because as I expressed this a number of times, towns get really itchy about destroying trees, and it's just so much easier to please them now and then not have to suffer their wrath later. That's one of the things. A bunch. Except for money. Money is not an issue. Fine. Again, I haven't actually been looking at this map for a bit of time. But also, after that, we can look at like alphabetically on the individual industries. So, okay, this is kind of connected, and those are connected, and I can pretty much do these. Fine. And then I'm not going to bother with this stuff right now. Like, this is kind of interesting. I've been here. Now that I said I'm not going to bother. Yeah. So we'll probably lose a lot of money because people just don't really make money because of cargo distribution. Like, they want to go places, which, yeah, we've been there, done that. I'm sure cargo this could be turned off, but I don't want to. And in all fairness, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, there are not here. It's control. Yeah, they can queue. Be like the Blitz. Queue. Docks. Actually, just and with new industries turned off, we no longer have the issue of hotels cropping up randomly. Like, I'm not particularly keen on going back to just extending and extending towns non-stop. Okay, this needs to have a means of turning around. Like, to be honest, I need to be sensible about this. Otherwise, we'll collectively die of old age. And I statistically have about 80 more years to go, 40 more years to go. I don't want 80 more years. That would make me 120. It's a very interesting book, The Three-Body Problem, and I think the third installment of that is called Death's End. I don't know if anyone has actually read. Hold on. I'm now thinking I did something particularly stupid here. No, I did not. Just checking. There are people here. So without trying to spoiler the book, just in case someone has not read it but is actually curious about reading it, yeah, the three-body problem books themselves are that, how to say this without kind of spoiling the whole thing. Basically, mankind gets in touch with an alien race who then promptly decide to invade Earth, except it takes them the better part of 400 years to get here. And jumping from book one to the middle of book three, that's and kind of brings up the idea that we as a species become capable of not dying, essentially. So on the one hand, they enact a very strong population control, aka no kids. On the other hand, death as a concept is kind of done away with, at least for elements of society. Why am I not turning here? Back. And the way this is actually connecting to what I started saying is that, I don't want to live another 80 years because your average 120-year-old doesn't exist, most of all. But they don't really look like the epitome of, healthy and enjoyable lives. I'm always like, well, who on earth wants to live forever? It's going to be interesting that in that book, they essentially did away with the concept of death altogether. But then it has very severe ramifications on society because it's, like so often, not universally available. Like, if you're kind of powerful, good for you. Not so good for you. Where am I? Okay, so we'll definitely stick a station there, but I guess there you go, station. Station. End up being here, and they can kind of switch it around there. I want to make this bigger. I always pseudo illogically do it for the one that hooks into a railway station and then not follow through. Okay, you can loop back. Okay, I was actually saying earlier that, and I'm definitely not the one to do this because my capabilities are not, or my interest, to be honest, is not designed for that. But it would be interesting to have a reasonably large map and then have cargo distribution on and actually play through in a way where cargo is distributed. So you don't end up with this epic mass. But like try to balance it out successfully, that is. Okay, so let's hook on these ones. Well, do I want to? I could just put a boat here. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. I could probably put a boat here, but by that point they will be certainly hating me. Let's do this. Yeah, okay, let's make sure that if they dislike me, we can kind of get around with this hopper. I want to go over to these. So why did I do that? I want Hot Hill and Hot Woods. Okay, fine. And then I think I'm going to need more of those, yeah, precisely, trees. Yeah, okay, they did. Fine. So what we can do now, yeah, as I said, I'll be more aggressive on landscaping and not be too phased about anything. That will include town growth. Well, I guess doesn't matter, is it? I don't know about town growth. I'm kind of sitting on the fence about that. Do I still only have? No, I want the peg one. To the point that I actually want to hide this because I'm just kind of going to buy it at some point. I don't want that. So oats. Okay, I can't actually. Well, there are. Okay, fine. Flying priest. And then you can go back there. Go. Okay, fine. So that's sorted. Next one's on a hook in this sort of thing, like these three. Wait. What would be half sensible is to actually hook this on that, preferably with something bigger than a tram line. I'll just put it here. And just have it come down there. I don't think these guys can do much about that. Wrong. Am I not allowed to plant trees? They hate me so much for swords. Interesting. I think it's a bug. See? They don't actually get. Hmm. Fascinating. Yeah, I think it's a bug. That's my last autosave. I think it just needs a revamp. October, January. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a bug. Normal. So that's allowed, kind of. Weird. Game's a bit buggy. Okay, well, now you can unlove me. Alright, jam, go away. One thing that's going to be pretty tough is actually, apart from the obvious, connecting the better part of 5,000 odd industries is managing the space. Nope, I do want this out. And I have no idea how I'll do that. I need to duplicate trains, people, 5M, it's fine. That should do. And I can then, I don't even know why I'm not just sending those boats up here. Seriously. What China Airways? No. No. Yeah. Seems the least insensible way to go about this. I still want to check if we have any. Okay, 4th gen. I don't know when 5th gen comes, but that's also going to be the end of traditional railway, which is kind of going to be the end of railway improvements because in this game set, or vehicle set as such, yeah, it's kind of going down there. Like in vanilla, you have monorail and maglev. They do allow industrial carriages, coaches, whatever they are. Not these. Not in this one. Which, you know, makes a certain amount of sense because bummer. You know, you're not going to be hauling literal thousands of tons of coal at 4 or 500k per hour. And if you're one of those people who uses Imperial, then you're still not going to be doing it at 250 miles an hour. Or 300 for that matter. So, sure, this is not funny for many people, but CoinMarketCap application keeps pinging me every 10 minutes because I set just a generic notification if the major coins are going one way or the other. Like, if you're watching this, obviously it was recorded actually at the end of January, when all the coins up until this point anyway went totally haywire. I kind of want to connect into that and then come back down. And so my phone has been pinging me like madman past 3 hours. But this is not a crypto video. Can I? No. No. Okay. I'm not convinced I need 5. I'm kind of curious what will happen when we do go past 10k vehicles too. I mean, in theory, literally nothing should happen. Which is to say, if you haven't been watching, that is because I've patched the source code and we are up to 65k vehicles per type allowance. So I don't want you to go around. Okay, that's done. We then go back and hook these in. Actually, yes. Again, I could just put boat here. Although, doesn't matter really, does it? So if you do watch the other game, it's using and abusing the physics of ships heavily, which, I might end up doing here if I ever give up on these silly terms. Because you can put unlimited number of ships in one tile. And it's not really award winning. Hmm? Oh. Unexpected item in lagging area. Remove item before continuing. Hey, cat food time. You can't hear this, but the auto feeder just went off. You're lost. Okay, where are you going? Why did you go down there? I'm clearly missing something, yes. Alright, you guys will eventually turn around. No, I don't want to. Can turn back all you want. Just stop there. Yep. My unfavorite task group stuff. Okay, medium, 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 large, large, medium. Nope, put that out. Yeah, I did do it with boats. Um, okay, very slowly. Like this is just going to take beyond forever. That's the double quotes beauty of the map, isn't it? I'm still not fully sure why I put that station like here. How's, how's the beloved music? Also, what are we on? Because in the other game I changed to yeah, Irish. I was saying in the other game that I like both the live Irish and Scottish music. I think they're great. But this MIDI stuff is not working for me. I want to depot. And it's not, it's not the music's fault, so to say. It's just that MIDI doesn't yield itself to anything sensible. Not in this sort of quality anyway. And then the other music seems to have stopped, the one you can't hear. One thing, I don't actually know how this shows in the video, and I should check. If you see very random yellowish tints coming and going, I use nightlight, technically Flux, if anyone cares. And it's only firing when the OTTD window is actually engaged. So anytime I tab out, it then on fires, if there's such a thing. It's a very poorly placed setup. Everyone can turn it on. So I want here is something like this. So if I take one of these, and I'm pretty sure I shoved in a bunch of allegedly medium-sized ones too large, or the other way around. Do that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. How badly am I doing? Pretty badly. Especially because if this is medium, then they should, hold on. Hair. So LCS is large. So everything that's not LCS should be LCS. That's large. This is, yeah. How's that? Hold on. So basically this is faster, takes fewer people, and is newer, obviously, because reliability is rubbish. So all of you, go servicing. And then medium should all be this Kurokawa, which is being replaced. You do not replace anything, and you replace yourself back here. And then here, should be small. Oh, I don't get this. So that's ancient, we'll hide it. We have this, that, and that. Okay, no, we are going to, can I just have small and large? Change livery, rename, delete. Yes. Now we have a large number of ungrouped ones. So much fun. Kind of wish we had a select multiple, but no. Feel free to speed it up to like double. Go away. Right, joy. Okay, can we actually figure out what's going on? So anything that's not Kurokawa is going to be Kurokawa. Place. Replace. We don't have any of those. Send. That was fun. And I just want to make sure that we only have two options, because otherwise I'm shooting myself in the foot. It's kind of the funny thing, because the channel is new, and from what I gather, the actual game is pretty obscure. Like, there's a very limited number of OTTD channels. And on top of that, you guys aren't even getting these videos in real time. The reason why it's being recorded a few weeks ahead is because I have batches of time when I just do it, which is probably what a lot of people do. But what ends up happening is that, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I don't get any comments. I mean, I actually have one subscriber as of 2 hours ago, which is to say, shout out to Mr. Irk, a subscriber. Hi, thank you. But a lot more to the point, yeah, in more established channels with more established viewership, I guess, people would be like, oh, hi, you're doing something totally crazy, like your terms are off, even though you're basing your whole map on them, or that sort of stuff. And then the guy does, not necessarily the guy, it could be a female, or in modern world anything else, but you know, the person who does the recording in comparative real time, and this is being taken care of, right? And then they can like, oh yeah, someone said yesterday, whatever, and they act on it, which, you know, is definitely not happening here. Okay, I want to just, I don't really know if I want a big one here. I'm just going to do that and then go back. I'm just doing a bigger one because it's a train station. Like, you know, clearly totally illogical. So these guys are connected. So I'm not going to pull down a term here just for the heck of it. Like, I'm not that much of a masochist. Just kind of skipped one there. Bummer. There's a hotel too. Go away. Sigh. I wanted to come back here, but this place is so small, I don't actually want to just wipe them. Okay, everyone can turn it around. Don't don't even ask why I don't start there, but that'd be sensible. Also, probably having these swapped would be beneficial. So what I'll do, now all of these have hopefully been replaced. Why do I have like single vehicles? Like that sort of stuff should really be just sold. Oh, well, it's going to work. Not. You know, 4% is abysmal. What I'm thinking is like if this is 95, these should be bumped. And then here, if they're particularly poor, bump them down. Anything below 25, and then eventually they get replaced. Like here, that should be automatic, but I'm not going to manually trigger that because too much of a headache. Just make sure everyone can turn around, so they can. We have about 7 minutes tops, which it's more like 3 because I usually cut it to 55. Where's the next town? Jeez. Okay. Well, that. Yeah, do it here. Hit the $1 billion mark, or £1 billion mark, by the way. Yay to us. Okay, and then you can come to here and go around. I'll just start here. Doesn't matter, does it? Nope. Yep. 4, whatever. How about one more? You know what? Nope. We'll deal with that probably separately. Actually, this kind of covers the town, so I mean, so would this. And we still have very little time. I want a bit bigger one here because we're going to hook it into A, we're going to hook into a train the next time, and B, it's actually just you can turn it on there, fine. No. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, I'll do this next time. Thanks for watching, and we shall continue the next time, and it's just going to be building out terms and trains for a very long time, but hey ho. Any likes, subscribes, comments, please do. Thank you. Bye bye.